Mexico's Tren Maya is an impressive 1,554-kilometer train route that circles the Yucatan Peninsula. In this series, we take you with us as we explore the entire route. From amazing archaeological sites, crystal clear lakes, amazing beaches, colorful colonial towns, magical cenotes, and delicious local foods, we experience it all.
Today we've driven about 2 hours from the city of Campeche to the Pueblo, Mexico of Isla Aguada.
The drive, while long, 2 hours, was absolutely beautiful. We just kind of followed the coast the whole way up. And this little Pueblo Mágico was made of Pueblo Mágico in 2020. And the main reason for that is that they have a bottlenose dolphin sanctuary. So we're gonna go check it out. So after checking out some of their very cool street art, we grabbed our photo in front of the letters, and then there were a bunch of guys that came over trying to sell us tours. So we did negotiate. We're getting to go to the Isla de Pájaros, or the Island of Birds, Isla de Concha, or Shell Island, as well as hopefully see some dolphins. And he said it would be a tour for about an hour, hour and a half for 800 pesos on a private boat.
And he told us to meet him at the end of this pier, so we stopped and got some waters on the way, and now we're just waiting.
All right, let's see how this tour is.
I realize I probably should have edited down this footage more, but seeing this many dolphins was truly an incredible experience, and I couldn't bring myself to get rid of any of the sightings we caught on camera. This island is Bird Island, and as the name suggests, it's absolutely covered in birds. This was as close as we could get because it is a protected area.
We just saw a bunch of dolphins, probably 20 or 30 at least. These guys knew right where to go to find them, and there weren't any. There's one other boat out there, but it wasn't like very touristy at all. Very, very cool. We even saw a couple do some tricks.
Yeah, they were like spinning and flopping and smacking their tails. And this thing, a lot of them were in pods. I think we saw one pod of 5, another pod of 4. Some of the best like dolphin excursion we've ever done. Highly recommend it. I asked the guide, he said that the dolphins are here year round. It isn't seasonal. So definitely recommend coming. Right now we are on Shell Island, and it is called Shell Island because it is absolutely covered in very beautiful shells. They do ask that you do not take any with you though and leave them for somebody else to appreciate.
So we just finished up our delicious lunch at Mari Cruise.
Yeah, that seafood was really fresh, very delicious. And now we've made it to our last stop of the day, which is the Faro Museum or the Lighthouse Museum. We're gonna check it out.
The land surrounding the Lighthouse Museum is an iguana preserve, and we learned that iguanas turn orange during mating season.
We just finished up the Farm Museum, and entrance was completely free.
I would say it's totally worth it to come, if nothing else, to see the iguana area. We have seen iguanas all through Mexico, and we have never seen iguanas as big as these. And also they have some like orange coloring on their belly and their legs, which we've not seen before either. So that alone is worth it. View from the top of the Lighthouse Museum is pretty cool as well. So I think that's it for Isla Aguada. We're gonna head on back to Campeche.
This morning we got up bright and early to drive the 45 minutes to the archaeological zone of Edzna, which is the southernmost site in the Puc region.
I've been super excited to see this site. It's pretty large and well known. We arrived here at about 8:20 in the morning. There was only one other car in the parking lot. So it looks like we mostly have the site to ourselves. We haven't seen anybody else. So I'm very excited to start exploring. And of course, because it was a Sunday, entrance was free.
The building behind us is the Edificio de Cinco Pisos, or the building of 5 floors, and it's the only building that we were told we can't climb.
Yeah, we've been able to climb a couple of the other smaller pyramids. This building was built over a long period of time, kind of like the other ones that we've seen in the area. There are some hieroglyphs on the stairs in the front, and one of those indicates that that particular glyph was carved in the year 652, but they do believe that this structure was built onto and added onto all the way up to the 1400s.
This is one of the longest inhabited sites that we visited. People started living here around 600 BC. Structures started being put up around 350 BC, and they lasted all the way up to the 1400s.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive. They also think that for quite a while, this site was under the rule of Calakmul, which isn't that far away. We're still in the state of Campeche.
So from here, you can see the 2 sock bays that lead up to the main square here. Elevated ceremonial roads. So this site is kind of large, and that's because during its peak between 600 and 900 AD, there were 25,000 people living here.
In front of us now is the Temple of the Masks, and on it you will see a couple representations of the sun god. One thing I think is kind of interesting is you can really easily recognize the sun god because he has these big, like, giant googly eyes. And then, of course, at some of the other places we've seen a bunch of chalk, the water god, who has like this elephant-like nose. So at least some of them are really distinctive.
So now we're at the area called the Little Acropolis.
This area was built before the large main square that we saw earlier. This one was started in about 300 AD, and they stopped building onto it about 600.
So it's about 9:15, and other people are starting to arrive now.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit busy, so if you want to have the place to yourself, I do recommend getting here open at 8 a.m. But if you want great pictures, you may want to come in the afternoon. The sun, unfortunately, is behind most of the impressive structures, so it is hard to get a well-lit shot of most things.
So the Maya train station looks to be about 18 kilometers away from the site.
Yeah, so it is a bit of a trek, but I know at Chichen Itza they have like a shuttle that'll take you, so I assume they're going to put the same thing here. They're also doing some construction here. They're building what looks to be a new welcome center, and if you can see, there's an area right behind us that is roped off because they're actually opening up more of the site.
After visiting the archaeological zone, we decided to check out the Edzna train station. It looked new and fancy.
Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, check out last week's video where we explore the route to Puck.